Welcome to the Pretty Confident Podcast, where we embrace authenticity, own our worth, and build unshakable confidence. I'm your host, Sierra Renee, so let's dive in. What's up, you guys, and welcome back to another episode on the Pretty Confident Podcast. As said in my intro, I'm your host, Sierra Renee. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you are new here, thank you so much for dedicating some of your time to figure out what this platform is all about and what I like to talk about on this platform. If you are an OG or a returning listener, thank you so much for checking back in with your girl and figuring out what this week is going to entail, okay? What this week's episode is going to entail. How are you guys doing? We are in April, hopefully. I say hopefully because every time I record an episode, I'm always like, oh, we're in this month, but I'm recording so far ahead that I really don't know what month this may be coming out in. So we're either in April or May. Thank goodness for, being able to see another day, and thank goodness for my good attitude and my good energy. I am in such a good place right now, which, can be hard sometimes, especially, in the third trimester of pregnancy. I have been so freaking tired, and I feel like when I'm tired, but I don't want to sleep, like then my energy is just down, and then I just don't want to do anything, or I may not even know what is entirely wrong. I just know I'm not 100%, and it just because I'm in my third trimester and I'm super tired, and it takes energy to create a little life inside of my belly, which I'm so nervous to give birth. You guys, I'm so nervous. I'm so scared to give birth because I'm just like, oh my gosh, I just want my baby girl to stay inside. Like, I protect her the most this way, and when she gets out, like, she's just gonna be subject to the outside world. Girls, have y'all ever had like a favorite lip gloss or lip balm and you lose it? Please. I know you have, because look at this. I am now an Edam girl down. And when I say that, I have several Edam lip glosses. Like, let me just pull out my, since we're right here at my makeup vanity, let me just pull out just the ones that I have up here with me. Let's see. So these are the three that I have with me. So I have, let me see, Guava Fresca. This one is the Pain, this is, I don't know, this is a Paris brand. But anyway, it's a chocolate, like a chocolate brown with sprinkles in it. It's gold because it was limited edition. But I don't know why this launches limited edition is not gold, it's still silver, but whatever. But anyway, I got one of the limited edition ones. I really wish I would have got both of them because the other one was like a more gold, more clear gold sparkly one, and it was like a croissant shade. And then this one is Chateau Rose, which is like a pink glittery shade. Now, I'm very upset. Now, the one that I have downstairs is Butter Mochi, and that's clear. And, that's the first one I got because clear, okay, nobody can go wrong with clear, I feel like. But where people and brands really can go wrong, I know I just veered off into like the makeup and whatever industry, but that is something that I'm passionate about. But anyway, when brands do clear glosses or clear whatever, their formula most of the time is so tea. But then when they branch off into new shades, new whatever, that's when they kind of lose the plot. Okay, they change the formula. It don't feel the same. It don't like all of the things. Like, it's just off. And hate to throw the brand out there, but Topicals is that brand. They have a great clear gloss, and it's only like $16. Like, Edam is the same price as Summer Fridays, and I choose Edam a million times over Summer Fridays. So this is $25, which, yes, it is expensive, but it works so well. Like, I think this is my second time putting it on for the day. It's about to be 2:00. I don't think I put on like my first little application of the Edam lip gloss and Butter Mochi, which is downstairs, since like 10 or 11. Like, it keeps my lips so moisturized, and it has like a lightning exfoliant. A light exfoliant. There we go. Trying to figure out what words to put together. But anyway, yeah, I lost one of them. So I think that was 1, 2, 3 that I just showed you. I got one downstairs, that makes 4. And the one that I lost was Chakra Shaved Ice. Oh my goodness, that one smelled so nice, and it was like a pink color, and I love pink. If you know me, you know my favorite color is pink, and I lost that one, and I just cannot find it anywhere. You guys know when you lose something and you're like, oh my gosh, I wonder where this thing is, and whole time the lost item knows where it is, it just can't communicate. I'm like, if the thing could just tell me where it is. So I have no clue where it could be. Like, I don't know if I left it at my parents' house when I went over there one weekend. I don't know it, like, they haven't said anything about it, so I doubt they've seen anything. I don't know if I like lost it and thought I put it in my purse and I accidentally set it down somewhere. But I was gonna like rage purchase another one, but I'm just like, no. But now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, maybe I do need to purchase it again because it is limited edition. So once it's gone, it's gone. Maybe I do, because that guava fresca, whatever, it's a cute pink or whatever, but it don't do it for me like the Chakra Shaved Ice. The Chakra Shaved Ice is just so cute. So maybe I will go purchase it. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. Like I said, it's limited edition. So once it's gone, because I made the mistake of ordering just the chocolate one of this limited edition line and didn't get the croissant one. And before I knew it, the croissant, they discontinued the limited edition, and so now I'm left in the dust, not ever knowing how the croissant one actually feels and smells on my lips. Okay, so yeah, I'm probably gonna go purchase another one, but I'm scared that if I purchase another one, the old one will show up. But then it's like, okay, now girl, you have 2, but I don't want to. I'm really big on not over consuming, because my husband was like, why do you have so many of these? I was like, well, each one has a different purpose, duh. Like, some I can wear without lip liner, others I have to wear with lip liner, and it gives me a great lip look, like a lip liner combo, whatever. So they all have different expectations and different roles and jobs to do. Okay. So yeah, you guys, but yeah, sorry, I just reared off into the abyss of my dilemma of lip balm and lip glosses. But yeah, hopefully you guys are doing great. Hopefully this month is going well for you. This week is going well. If the day is not going well for you, what is one thing you could change that is within your control to shape and change the trajectory of your day? Now, I will say, being pregnant, I have had scary times, okay? I will start to overthink, like if I don't feel her for ever so long, I'm like, oh my gosh, is she okay? Like, I really wish I had the little heartbeat thing that I can hear her heart, listen to her heart myself. But I feel like if I didn't have it in the right space or right place, it'd probably freak me out even more, because then I'm not hearing a heartbeat and I know she's in there. So I don't know, maybe it's a good thing that I don't have it. But if I go so long without feeling her, I'm like, girl, what are you in there doing? Like, I try to wake her up, but she is moving like crazy right now. So I just like so happy whenever she moves, because I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, yes, you're okay in there. But yeah, I try not to worry, because worry is do they say worrying is the thief of joy, or do they say doubt is the thief of joy? Regardless of the fact, both of them are thieves of joy. So worrying my little heart and head about something, even if I feel like, I may be the one overreacting, I don't want to, affect her, because she can feel any and all emotions that I'm feeling. So I try to like relax and calm myself down before I get out there, because I'm like, I don't know how it's going to affect her, but I don't want her to have those type of feelings before she even comes out the womb, like always being on guard about something, or over worrying herself and not needing to, because the child can experience things before they come out into the world, and then that's going to be their experience with some of the things you experience through your pregnancy. So definitely want to protect her from all of that and keep myself grounded and leveled out. But yeah, you guys, let's go ahead and hop into this video, because I know I've already talked for so long. Okay, so in today's video, I want to talk about checking back into reality, especially in my 3rd trimester of pregnancy. But I feel like this is kind of like built up, and now it's become like the biggest thing in my 3rd trimester. So I feel like the reality of having expecting a child, for everybody, the child the focus shifts to the baby, which rightfully so, right? Because this is a new life for the parents. This is something that's going to be our biggest concern and biggest focus, because we're bringing new life into the world. And especially for new and first time parents, this is our first time being parents and being responsible for another life that isn't ours. And so I feel like I was completely disassociating myself from family, I don't have many friends, so all I'm going to say is family, but it comes from where, I have a big family, okay? And growing up, family has been like so tight knit because they've kind of had all of us young. And so I understand why the family has been so tight knit, but I feel like I've been able to survive and thrive on my own. That with this pregnancy, everybody has started to reach out a lot more, contact me a lot more. But when I moved out of my parents' house and into my own space, a little bit further away, out of reach from the entire family, everybody, like there wasn't anybody that was like checking up on me daily. Like, yeah, I talked to my parents here and there, but everybody else, there was no consistent calling, no consistent texting, no consistent worrying. But I feel like that's because when you are perceived as somebody that's doing good, that doesn't need anything, that, has everything all together and doesn't need help, you get reached out to less. And I'm not saying that, the phone doesn't work both ways and I couldn't, maintain and keep up a relationship myself. That just wasn't my priority. Okay. And it's completely fine. And I don't fault myself and I don't fault anybody else for it, but I'm just saying that was the quality of life that I was used to, and the extent of talking to people came about. So if I didn't talk to you on a day-to-day basis, on a week-to-week basis, now you texting and calling all the time during my pregnancy has become annoying. So I felt like, I look at everybody checking in as annoying, and, oh my gosh, everybody just wants to like bothering me, which obviously, yes, they do care. They do want to know how I'm doing. I feel like maybe pregnancy for everybody else in the family has been, kind of tough, kind of rough. But like I said, we've had some, young pregnancies. I'm 26 and I feel perfectly fine. I got my partner with me, all of the things. So I just feel like with the suffocation that I felt and I still feel is a little bit why I'm disassociating and checking out of reality, or why I was, because now that I understand what I'm doing, I'm trying to change that and not be as bad as I was. So yes, the change, the focus has shifted to the baby, and I am so used to not being the center of attention. Like, I'm used to like telling people when I accomplish things and being clapped and being applauded for that. And then if it's not about success or anything like that, on to the next topic, we're talking about somebody else. But I feel like with the expectation of this baby and, her arrival and everything like that, I'm the first daughter, I'm the first granddaughter, she's the first niece, the first granddaughter, the first great granddaughter. And so I just feel like there's been a lot of pressure and a lot of people worrying maybe about me because I'm not so open with everything that I have going on, which obviously, or honestly, it's not a lot that I've been having going on. Like, people ask me, like, my family was texting me almost on a day-to-day or a week-to-week basis, like, oh, well, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Do you need anything? Well, call me if you need anything. I don't need anything. There's nothing wrong. Like, I'm glad, if something was wrong, I know I could call you. But honestly, like, if I needed anything and my husband can't get it for me or provide it to me, I'm calling my parents. I'm not going outside of, those two factions to tell somebody, whatever. But anyway, it's just been kind of a little bit annoying. And so my husband had to kind of like put things into perspective for me and help me gather my thoughts and hone in and calm me down. And he was just like, Sierra, honestly, as I've been thinking about it, this baby is really loved. He said, this is the first granddaughter, great granddaughter, all of the things. You're the first daughter, first granddaughter, all of the things, bringing in another first. And he said, everybody is just doing everything out of love. And right now I feel her at the tippity top. So she must be trying to kick me in my ribs. It's like she loves my right side. But anyway, he just said that everybody is doing everything out of love, which I understand now, and I didn't put that into perspective earlier when everything was going on first, because I was like, why are they doing all of this? Why are they being so da 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 da? He was just like, everybody is doing everything out of love, which, yes, that's perfectly fine, but it just doesn't justify the amount of messages I get and the amount of calls that I get. Like, I don't talk to everybody on a day-to-day basis. There's nobody I talk to on a day-to-day basis unless it's my husband. And so if I had just talked to you maybe like the weekend prior or the day prior, and you're calling me again in the middle of the week or the end of the week, there's nothing to talk about. I just talk to you. There's nothing to talk about. So I just don't answer the phone. I'm trying to, protect my own boundaries, because it's just like all of the calls, all of the no. And I will not call back, and I will not text back if I don't feel like it. So yeah, the other thing that I will say that I've realized I was doing was not wanting to be around others. Now this one, I kind of feel like, ties into me having my own space and being a little bit further out of the way, that I don't have to, be around people or expected or, needed to show up at things. But there has been more family gatherings, especially since I'm so much closer to my parents' house and everything. It just gets annoying when I'm around everybody and I'm the center of attention. Like, honestly, I do not like being the center of attention. I don't know what it is about not being the center of attention, but I just don't like all eyes on me. I truly don't. I'm confident in who I am. I don't need everybody, putting me on blast, on, anything like that. And so I feel like when I'm in a room full of my family members, everybody cares so much about the baby that I get bombarded with everybody all at once. Like, there was one time both of my sisters was talking to me, and then there was other conversation going on that they were jumping in and out of, and I'm just like, I'm about to explode, because everybody is asking me different questions at the same time, but also having different conversations off to the side. Like, I'm just so confused, and there's just too much happening at once. So, when it comes to me being bombarded with questions, and sometimes I just want to get somewhere and sit down and relax, especially being pregnant and tired. But when it comes to everybody wanting to touch my stomach, and everybody wanting to ask me questions, and everybody talking to my stomach as soon as they walk into a room, it gets annoying to the point that you don't want to be around people, because it's like, this is what is going to happen when I am around all of these people. And if I don't feel comfortable or want any of this to be going on, I'm just going to exclude myself out of the picture. And so that's also what I've been doing. But honestly, it's just like, I don't like anybody touching me already. Like, I love my personal space, and I don't like anybody touching me unless I don't know. I'm very picky about who and what touches me, or what's always, around. So the touching of my stomach, I didn't understand it prior to being pregnant, when, people said, oh, stop petting me. I'm not, a dog or a petting zoo or da 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 da. I don't know the extent of some females' frustration when it came to people touching them, but I can tell you mine. The frustration is higher, and it gets higher and higher, because it's like, I'm somebody that I love personal space. I don't like being around a lot of people, and I don't like people touching me. And so with the pregnancy, obviously everybody sees your little bump, they want to touch you, and it's nobody outside of my family, honestly, but it's literally just my family that either reaches out and touches without asking, or they ask and they touch. And genuinely, I don't care if you ask or not. I'm going to feel an ick either way, because I don't like being touched. And so you rubbing my belly, yeah, maybe you're trying to get a connection with her, but at the end of the day, I'm the one feeling everything. You touching me, rubbing me, and it feels weird. It feels weird. And the only thing that I can say is, women that aren't pregnant or haven't been pregnant are not going to understand until they are pregnant. So, I told my sisters, I said, y'all just wait. Like, my mom, she does it in the most weirdest way. Like, is she awake? No. And she genuinely is not awake whenever, they go to touch her. I'm like, you're not going to feel her. So what is the point of touching my stomach? You're not going to feel her. I barely feel her. Her dad barely feels her, like on the, like just touching the outside of my stomach, because my placenta is on the front. So there's a lot of movement that you will not feel. And I barely feel unless she's on my sides, because the placenta is on the front. And my sister's like, why do you keep saying that? Like, what does that mean? Imagine me and you being in front of each other and then something being dropped right in front of us. You cannot see me, and whatever I do to whatever is in front of us, you will not be able to feel unless I go around it and touch you. So it's like that with the placenta. The placenta grows with the baby. And so as she grows, the placenta is growing as well. And so that just limits the amount of spaces that I can feel her in front, on the front side of my stomach, unless she's on the sides, like I said. So and then I feel like when I'm walking around, my torso is elongated. So she has more room to like spread out a little bit, or she just has a lot more room to sit in a crevice somewhere and not be felt, or not, move to the point where I can feel her. So, all of that contributed to me not wanting to be around others. And so with all of that, I just felt like I felt myself disassociating. And so I didn't understand what was going on in that process, or at the time that I was disassociating, until I left and I was driving home. My husband is drunk, because everybody can have fun and still party except for the pregnant ladies. So here I am, designated driver all the time. Not all the time, because he doesn't go out a lot whatsoever. And if he does, it's to my parents' house and they all drink and this and the third. But I was just like, dude, like, I just don't feel like I have fun when I'm around other people. Like, I just feel like an outcast. I feel like I don't fit in at all. And, I just sit there. Like, I find like a corner, I sit in there, I make myself small. And I really do truly believe that one is because I'm disassociating myself with everything, disconnecting. And because I don't like being in a room full of people that I'm the center of attention, I'm trying to make myself seem smaller and not make as much noise and, a big uproar, so that people aren't bombarding me with questions and all in my face and things like that, and making me the center of the conversation. I want somebody else to be the topic of tonight's, conversation. So I feel like with all of that, I was disassociating and disconnecting myself. And just, I found myself always off to the side whenever everybody else is having fun, just off to the side, either scrolling on my phone or something like that. And I also realized that I was taking everything so seriously. I feel like growing up, or not just growing up, but, just bringing a child into this world, it makes you look at things a lot differently than maybe you used to, because I'm realizing that some of the things that I didn't realize before I was expecting Miss Kalia Renee are things that either matter to me, or things that I'm gonna implement in her life, but that's just some things that I wasn't thinking about before. But with bringing her into the world, I've just taken everything more seriously, and I just want to be a lot more intentional when it comes to putting things and bringing things into her life, that I feel like I look at everything through a serious lens, when everything doesn't need to always be taken seriously. I feel like when you take everything seriously so soon, you miss out on the life experiences, the fun experiences, the chance to make memories with people that you love. And when you miss out on that, you may not get another chance, especially when time is limited and you're about to give birth to another human being and your world is about to be about them. Now, I tell y'all before that I do not want my life's purpose to be my child. Like, yes, I've decided to bring a life into this world. Me and my husband talked about getting pregnant and all of the things before we knew we were expecting. And so, yes, this is going to be a number one priority in my life, but I don't want it to be the only priority, because I feel like when people make their children their life's work, their number one priority in any and all things, that's when they lose themselves. I still want to take care of myself. I still want to date my partner. I still want to do all of the things that make me feel like me, while also making sure that I'm doing the best for my child and everything in my power for my child. But there's going to be a time after she's born that I definitely have to be serious. And so if I'm being so serious now, and then later I have to be so serious as well, there's no break in between that I'll have to just live my life and laugh. That one little, the 3 little word thingy: live, laugh, love, I want to do all of the things. And so I feel like if I'm only serious, that's going to kill and dull any mood in the room. And so I feel like since I'm so serious, since I'm disconnecting, since I don't like being in a crowd of people, like all of that is causing me to fall out of reality. And so when I was like just thinking to myself, I think my husband was drunk. Like it was that same night we had gotten home and I was just taking a shower. I was like, why do I feel like I don't belong anywhere? Why do I feel like I can't have the same conversations that everybody else is having? Why do I feel like, this, that, and the third? And it's genuinely because I have checked out of reality and into another realm. And that's just my motherhood realm. Like, oh, if you're not talking about anything of substance, of, seriousness, I don't want to talk to you. But honestly, you need those unserious conversations to relax yourself, to bring yourself out of whatever either pity party you have going on for yourself or a serious streak you have going on where you just have not enjoyed life. And so when I realized that I was disassociating myself, I was like, this is completely on me. Everybody keeps trying to come and talk to me and, have fun with me. And I'm kind of just like nipping at their hand. Get away, get away, get away. But, it's not to say like I can't have my boundaries and I can't have the times that, I do want to be, left alone. But I'm saying that if I am not realizing what I am doing, I am going to continue to be the problem. And so I encourage everybody else to find the confidence and courage that if you feel like you are not fitting in somewhere, look at the situation and surroundings as a whole. Okay. Not just you and what you're feeling and what you're experiencing, but what are you putting back out into the atmosphere? What is the situation? Are they coming, like, are people trying to talk to you and you're like brushing them off or being rude or being short with people? Because that was definitely me. I was being really short with everybody. Or are you trying to mingle? Are you trying to get to know people and they're the ones brushing you off? You have this great attitude, you're trying to connect and it's just not going well. If that's the case, there's nothing else that you can do that's within your power. Okay. But if you are the one that's snipping at people, that's being short with people, and people are continuously trying to connect and communicate with you, then yes, you are the problem. And it is not wrong or bad to say that I may be the problem in this issue. That just shows that you have enough you've done enough self-reflection, you have enough confidence within yourself to know when you are the one that is the problem. And not only are you able to figure out that you are the problem, but now what is the problem that I'm having? Okay. I realize that yes, I'm the problem. Now, what am I doing in the situation that's causing the confrontation that I feel within myself? Because nobody is doing anything to me that, I can't control anything. Nobody is doing anything to me where it's just completely out of left field. I am feeling this way because of stuff that I'm feeling internally. So what am I feeling? Why am I feeling that way? And how is it being castrated off to other people? I have a short temper. I don't like people touching me. I feel like I can't talk to anybody. I feel like I'm too serious. Disassociation, being short, nipping, not really answering anything, things like that. Closing myself off, keeping my distance away from people, all of that. Okay, so I feel like if you can learn to look at the situation in its entirety and not just of a victimized mentality, because I feel like that's what a lot of people will do, especially in this day and age. They'll be like, oh, well, I don't have any friends because everybody is just so weird and I'm always the nice girl and nobody. It's easy to have the victim mentality of how other people are, like what other people are doing, and it may or may not like transpire to you and your situation, but you're not taking any note or notice to what you are doing and how you are being perceived off or giving off to other people. I realize that I'm being short with people. I realize that I'm disassociating myself. I can see other people constantly trying to include me, but because I'm so far away, it's hard to do so. And so I have to have the confidence to not get so, work on my, I don't want to say anger because I don't get angry, but work on my irritation, work on my shortness of attitude, like my short fuse to how quick I get an attitude, work on patience with other people, because I feel like I have such good patience with things and people that I actually want to have patience and all of the things with. Now, I just gotten so out of, reality of my realm of, everybody is different and everybody acts differently in different situations. And I'm trying to keep this one serious note in every single thing that I do, that obviously I'm the one that's feeling out of place because I'm the only one being serious in every single aspect, in every single atmosphere, environment, situation that I go into. So what is it that you are doing that can contribute or that may be contributing to whatever you have going on? And maybe that's the answer. Maybe I am the problem. And it's perfectly fine to acknowledge that. Just know that you have to have the confidence to do so. It's easy to play victim. It's easy to say it's somebody else's fault. But do you have the strength, confidence, and wit about yourself to notice what's going on, recognize if it's anything that you're doing, and change the trajectory of how you feel in certain atmospheres and environments? So the next time I had went over to my parents' house, there were people there. And so I felt so good because I had acknowledged like everything that I had going on that same night of when it happened, that when I had went back over there the very next day, things were more lively because I wasn't being so serious. I wasn't taking everything so serious. I wasn't wanting to have a serious conversation with everybody about anything. So it was just more light. And I feel like once you stop being so serious in every situation, you will realize that you will feel lighter because it'll take the weight off your chest to now deal with the more serious things when you need to, instead of being serious all of the time. So I realized that I just needed to check back into reality. Notice that everybody loves me. Everybody wants me to be included, but I'm the one excluding myself. That's the problem. And I was disassociating myself and having a short fuse. Okay, like I need to change that. But yeah, you guys, yeah. I feel like if I wasn't so emotionally curious about what goes on internally and when I feel a certain way, because I hate that, that's how I used to be. Like, I used to be so upset or so angry, and I just used to take it out on everybody. But now, when I feel upset or angry or sad or down or not, 100%, and I'm not high or low, I'm just in the middle, I now want to take the time to figure out why. My question always when something is off about myself, the question to myself is why. And I try to play back scenarios of, okay, what may have made you feel this way? If I don't know what made me feel this way, am I just, not at a high or low state? I'm just neutral. And it's perfectly fine to be there. But if you feel yourself lashing out at people and having a short temper with people and having a short, conversation, like being short with people, okay, there may be something else underlying going on. I'm not just not high or low. I feel like I'm neutral, but underlying there's something that I'm suppressing. So I need to get it off my chest. And so I feel like that was definitely what was going on with me. And so I feel so proud of myself now because there's grown adults that, have conversations with me. And, this one lady in my prenatal call, she's always like, oh, well, she'll ask me a question or ask me something. And I'm like, well, this, that, and the third. And I answer it truthfully. Like, I'm not trying to put on a front for anybody. But I also think like this podcast also helps me because like I told you guys, if you talk out, like sometimes you don't even know what's wrong. But if you talk, whether it's to your phone, to your voice recording, app on your phone, or even just writing stuff down in a journal, something will come out of you that you did not know. And so that will like continuously raise my curiosity of, okay, since I know this method has worked before, if this happens again, let me try that same method to figure out what is wrong. And when you constantly find something that works over and over and over, and maybe in different forms, recording, voice recording, or writing down in a journal, you will forever understand that what you are feeling is never too far out of reach of you understanding yourself. And when you can continuously, successfully understand yourself, that is the most rewarding thing ever. And so me just practicing that over the years, like whenever I feel something or whenever I feel off, I always ask myself why and go on a journey to figure out why. Sometimes my husband catches me in the journey, like in the journey of me trying to figure out what the heck is going on with myself. But at the end of the day, he's either trying to figure it out with me, or he'll give me the space to figure it out, and he'll continuously check on me, or, provide me anything that he thinks I need or anything that I ask for. And so that, to me, I feel like is so rewarding in and of itself, because I never leave my feelings up to anybody else. And if I feel like I'm feeling some type of way because of somebody else, what can I do that's within my control of changing what I'm feeling and why? Is there a conversation that can be had? Is there something that I lack as far as like boundaries to help prevent this from happening again? What can I do to change the outcome of how I'm feeling about something? Or is there anything that I can do to change my attitude? Is there anything that I can do to, figure out what is going on to help me go forward with knowing, okay, when I get like this, it's because something along these lines has happened, or because I felt this way, or because I may not have expressed myself the way I wanted to, or this conversation needs to be had, things like that. So just being able to sit there and figure out what was going on the same night that I was feeling all of these things, and realizing I was feeling all of these things repeatedly, that helped me out so much that when I went back over there, I felt so good when I was able to have a light and flowy, airy conversation with people and not it be so serious. I felt so good. So I get when people say, oh, well, when I have a podcast, I barely want to talk outside of it. I feel like since I have the podcast, I talk about so many serious things, because obviously there are serious things that I want to talk to y'all about, and not all of them are super serious. Some of them are kind of like surface level. But it just makes me want to talk about more serious things and be more intentional and have more serious conversations with people outside of just me talking to myself. Because, I can sit here and talk to myself. I'm like, okay, girl, I hear you. I see you. Yeah, that's a word. Or sometimes I'm like, maybe if I go back and I listen to another episode, I'm like, maybe, my viewpoint has changed on that. But yeah, like I said, being serious all of the time can be heavy. Being serious can be heavy. Live, laugh, love. Finding pockets in time and in your life not to be so serious, and be able to enjoy the moments and laugh with people that you love and live in the moment, and not be so serious about, oh, well, this has to happen and things have to go this way for me to have fun. Not being such a warden about everything will keep you light and on your toes. Okay, so yeah, you guys, I love you all. Hopefully this touched some hearts. Hopefully, if you are a pregnant mama to be, or you are just somebody that finds yourself disassociating with people around you and trying to, be alone and this and the 30, hopefully this helps you realize that maybe you just need to check back into reality, or figure out what in these atmospheres that you don't like being in is actually comprised of, because there may be something battling your spirit. Okay, maybe some things trying to latch on to you that just isn't working. But yeah, I want to encourage everybody to find the confidence to figure out what is going on with you. Ask yourself the why. Check back into reality and live, laugh, and have fun. All right, well, I love you guys, and I will see you in next week's episode. Peace. Thank you for tuning in to the Pretty Confident Podcast. Remember, confidence isn't about perfection. It's about embracing who you truly are. So until next time, stay bold, stay authentic, and stay pretty confident. Peace out.